It feels like it's very loud. Hold on. It feels overtly loud. As if you may not be able to hear me as I speak. Why is that so loud? Audio input capture. Only the microphone, please. I just almost die. I just almost die. Oh. That was wretched. What was that? Ah! I think it's a little bit better though. Hold on. Ah! Just trying to figure out what I am doing here with my sound. Because I have the desktop audio, but it seems like... maybe it's because my desktop is just so loud. Okay. That seems a little bit better. Much better. Yeah, that seems more like you can actually hear my voice now. It was probably just because I had my... Oh, that's why. It's because my speakers are on to my headphones. Oh, much better now. Rookie mistake on that one. Don't know how I did that. Yeah, there we go. Now is better again. So, I've had just, like, when people say a roller coaster of emotions, that is exactly, that is down exactly what's happened, which sucked a lot. Was not fun for, I'm sure, anyone involved, least of all me. So, I'll have you know that if you do bring up current events, I may just cry. Try not to do that to me, please. And I am racing against the clock to not die of overheating because I had to turn off... Ooh, ow. I had to turn off my fan because it was too loud. And it is hot. I'm going to sweat into an amorphous puddle of nothing. So I'm hoping that I don't die, because I know this is going to take about 3.5 hours, as it always does. So let's go. Vin's sleeping, by the way. He may wake up in the middle of me doing this, but he's in another room with an AC on, so he can't hear anything. It's only if he happens to wake up. Fight Shack News Update with Punchy78.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Punchy78 here with Fight Shack News. All the fighting that's fit to post.
I forget this.
The tournament scene is heating up, with contenders eager to scoop up precious points they'll need to qualify for the main event. All eyes are on the local laundromat crew who destroyed veteran Team L7 Gaming to secure first place at an underground tournament. Do they have what it takes to go all the way? Only time will tell. With a sponsor behind them and strong hype, they're on the right path, but need to focus their efforts if they want to get any further. For more on this developing story, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is really heating up.
It's so funny to hear, like, the lingo out of a game, but, like, it's very topical. I love it. It is the distant future year of 20XX, and I'm getting really sick of adulting. Okay, I'm starting to get to know my new friends. We're bonding, we're sharing, it's all lovely and wonderful. But they've also saddled me with the role of coach, manager, cat wrangler, and general-purpose problem solver for the Patchwork Coalition. In short, I'm wearing a lot of hats right now, and sadly, one of those hats is real estate agent. But I don't have time to whine and complain. I'm committed to this, and there's work to be done. Which means putting together a team house. A team house is more than just a house for us. I need to build them a home for intensive competition training, sure, but also, you know, somewhere they all feel welcome. Somewhere perfect. Also, since we won a giant FoD2 machine at Hamza's tournament, we need, like, somewhere to put that thing? It's too big to fit in Ben and Matt's little arcade. I was up until 3 a.m. working with Iris to try and find a perfect location for our new headquarters. But, well, the search for our new home hasn't been going real well so far. Hopefully Iris found something while I was blissfully unconscious. Iris, tell me you have good news. I have good news!
Hooray!
I've successfully eliminated another 73 candidates from our starting pool. That's good? Have you found any viable candidates? None that will match every parameter you've given me, I'm afraid. The money Crimson Tiger has earmarked for monthly rent is considerable, don't get me wrong, but finding a large enough place in the city itself and nearby good clean fun. Difficult, huh? It isn't a problem money can solve. The city is overcrowded and rent is sky high, so viable residential spaces are hard to come by. Well, crap. The Patrick Coalition is just getting used to the idea of dedicating themselves to FoD2, and asking them to uproot their lives without a perfect destination in mind? I figure it's easier to swallow the idea of upgrading from friends to roomies if I already had a really great locale lined up. It's a difficult proposition, to be certain. I wish I could be more helpful. I'm an Iris. Our purpose is to be helpful.
Suboptimal situation.
Normally, I'd fetch a knowledge base from my cloud collective to learn how to do this, but my sisters haven't developed a real estate skill package yet. Alright, you can just download skills. You sure you don't know Kung Fu too? Not much use for that when you don't have a physical body, Reaxeons. But I could get a personal trainer module if you want my help learning how to fight IRL. Let's focus on my gaming career before I become a meat space street fighter, please. Okay. Perhaps. You could consult with your teammates, see if they know of any potential homes I'm not aware of. I may be a powerful search engine, but I don't have the human resources and social connections others have.
My sources say yes.
Remember, friendship means sharing and communicating openly. Although most human dramas seem to revolve around pointlessly keeping secrets and betraying each other for flimsy reasons. I sigh, leaning heavily against my desk over the keys. I guess I'd better just approach them, even if I don't have a perfect candidate already lined up. It's better than keeping secrets from each other. This isn't junior high school. We're better than that. Good, quick question. What do y'all call, like the school in between elementary school and high school? For me, I called it middle school. And I don't know if that's just specifically, like, a East Coast thing. Because most people that I know on East Coast call it middle school. Because it's in between, like, the first school and the last school. It's middle school. But I've heard it called secondary school. I've heard it called junior high school. It just has a bunch of different weird names. What names do you call what I would refer to as middle school? Which was like, for me specifically, it was 7th, 8th, and that was it. Because elementary schools had 6th graders in them for specifically my year. Normally it would be 6th, 7th, and 8th. So it'd be 3 years in one school. But they were renovating, so I was in elementary school in 6th grade. And then I was only in middle school for 7th and 8th, and then I immediately went up to high school in 9th grade. So, like, what do you guys call that? I call it middle school. I've heard secondary school, I've heard junior high. I'm just curious. Is there any others, or is those just the 3 that people use? I don't know, it's just interesting. We should be better than that. Loxley should be better than that. I still don't know why he was sneaking around after Hamza's tournament. I may need to ask him about that later. Right, I'm heading over to Good Clean Fun to try and convince them during this morning's team practice. You can do it, Reaxeons. I believe in you. Well, at least my digital fairy godmother believes in me. That's not nothing. Shutting down the computer of Theseus for now, I switch Iris back to my phone and head out to face the day. One long subway ride later and I'm facing down Good Clean Fun, what has been their home for years. I'd hope to find a suitable location for the team house in or around Chinatown so we could keep using GCF, but that may not be an option. As I'm sorting out what approaches I can take, I peer around the nexus of soap suds and tokens in Greece, hoping everyone's already here and available to chat with. But the team keeps weirdly inconsistent hours. I spy with my little eye Loxley by his crane game, and Zapper and Rhapsody chatting by the washing machines, but that's it. No Domino, no Jinx, no Grace. Could be they aren't here yet. Okay, who do I approach first? I mean, obviously. Where the heck is Domino? I can just look for him? That is so funny that I can just look for that bitch. I'm gonna go talk to Loxley. I spot Loxley by his beloved crane game, although he's just sort of leaning against it, lost in thought. And from the nod he offers me long before I've finished approaching, well, I think he knows what's coming.
Well met.
Good morning, Reaxeons. More or less. Indeed. Okay, am I gonna have to come right out and ask, or are you gonna, like, offer me some answers without being poked and prodded? You told me if I wanted to know what the hell happened at the end of Hamza's tournament that you'd tell me. Indeed I did. My recommendation is still that you try to put the incident out of your mind. It's nothing to concern yourself about, really. Loxley, an arcade game wormed its way into my brain and made me hallucinate. My hand is still sore from touching that joystick even. Lingering pain? That is worrying. Have you felt any headaches? Or perhaps missing time, holes in your memory? See, when you ask questions like that, it only makes me want to ask more questions, not fewer. It's time to level with me. What is Polybius, and why are you looking for it? With a sigh, he gives up and drops his voice to be a bit quieter, just in case anyone is eavesdropping. You're correct, of course. You deserve to know what you've encountered.
Uncertainty abounds.
Are you certain you don't want to back away from this? Focus on your championship, ambitions, on supporting your friends and all that? Loxley, you're misunderstanding me. I'm not Mix FoD2 with no other concerns for life. I am concerned about my friends, including you? And if that was what I think it was, some kind of government agent, I think you're tangled up in more than arcade justice crimes. This is serious. So help me help you. Help me understand, okay? My apologies. I do value our friendship in truth. It pains me to be unable to share every single detail, but I'll share what I can.
What do you know of Polybius?
Polybius, that is how you pronounce it, Polybius. That it doesn't exist, supposedly. I did some research online immediately after getting home that night. It's a creepypasta. Nothing more than a tall tale of arcade legend. Some kid has a seizure while playing Tempest, and the story blew up into this ridiculous tale of a brain-controlling CIA arcade experiment.
Perfect cover, yes? Much like stories of UFOs planted to hide the true yet mundane purpose of Area 51, to test captured Soviet spy planes. I'm afraid Polybius is quite real. The myth was purposely spread to hide the truth. As near as we can tell, the game uses a biofeedback joystick to connect to the player's mind, analyzing synapses, downloading data, creating a reasonable approximation of the player's personality and memories. A digital ghost stored within the machine. It lures in its prey using hypnotic patterns, likely remnants of some MK Ultra research, and...
I'm sorry, did I accidentally join the X-Files when I wasn't looking? MK Ultra? Seriously?
Seriously. You said you wanted to know the truth. This is the truth. It would be easier to doubt me and dismiss it all as a farce. And in fact, I wouldn't be adverse to you doing so.
Fine. Continue. Very well. I've already forgotten how to pronounce it. Shit. I think it's Polybius. Polybius uses the biofeedback link to connect to the player's mind. Hang on. I've seen FoD players use biofeedback joysticks. Technology derived from Polybius, yes, but without the malicious core that drives Polybius. It's just an interface, harmless. Jinx uses one, for instance. It's easier on her wrists, but she's never lost her mind to an arcade game. Weird, and noted for future reference. Continue. Polybius is designed to grind into one's existing anxieties and fears, leveraging them to break down your willpower. And once it's shattered all hope, wearing down your psyche, your mind belongs to the machine, and you no longer care to resist. Well, that's pleasant. I regret you had to be exposed to that sort of torment, no matter how briefly. Beyond that, I'm afraid there's little solid information I can offer. Only urban legends and conspiracy theories. The company that made the game... How do you pronounce that anyway? Honestly, no idea. Just use whatever you prefer. It matters not. The company went bankrupt in 1990X. They obviously made the game for some secret organization, but we know little beyond that. I've been searching for an intact Polybius machine for years. I tried to sneak in to retrieve the one from Hamza's warehouse, but I was busy playing it, and by the time he got me out of there, someone else had it. That creepy woman in black.
A bit concerning, that.
We're not the only ones seeking Polybius, needless to say, and there's where the true danger lies in crossing paths with them. I only hope they hadn't noticed your involvement. If I take risks for my friends, well, that's my business, but I don't want to bring you any harm. With that, he exhales, a deep sigh as he finally gets this off his chest. And that's the truth of the matter.
I offer my sincere apologies.
Can you forgive me for holding back? 'Twas a noble attempt to shield you from such nightmares, but a failure, I'll admit to that. And apologize deeply. Not sure how much of this I believe, honestly. From his voice, I can tell he believes every word of it, including his sincere apology. Look, whatever this mess you're in, can you at least avoid dragging it across our doorstep? I don't want to see the Patrick Coalition thrown in jail. Absolutely not. I mean, I will absolutely not endanger my friends. Not that I absolutely will not... You know. That's why I insisted you leave this be. I don't want to cause any of my friends harm, and I swear to do my best to avoid darkening our doorstep with my troubles. I wish to ride with you into battle for glory and honor on the Pro Tour. That has not changed. Okay. At least I can trust in your dedication to the team. I'll have to accept that for now.
Excellent.
I'm glad we could. But you haven't really answered my question yet, have you? Pardon? I asked you, what is Polybius, and why are you looking for it? You answered what, not why. And I have a pretty strong suspicion as to why you want Polybius so badly. It's because Iris was made using Polybius's code, isn't it? Haha! I'm not a dumbass! I know what you're up to, motherfucker! Everybody underestimates the fat bitch. Fuck you. It wasn't hard to deduce now that I know the facts. Back when I first met Grace, she talked about how she made Iris. We'd inherited a pile of half-finished projects and ancient code from various dead companies, Funware, Dynamic Systems, Retrowave, Sonoslotion. It was my idea to put all the pieces together into a single package. A virtual assistant with a winning personality. Meaning Iris is part Polybius. The dangerous part. Isn't that right, Iris?
But I'm not like that evil program. Not at all. I just want to help people. I'm not going to, eat anyone's soul.
Iris, relax. You're clearly a good person. Whatever Polybius was, that's not who you are now. In our time together, you've proven you have a kind heart. You're not all cold code and overheating circuits. Whatever Grace did to make you, it seems to have overridden any nastiness baked into Polybius. I'm not worried.
Exactly. We're doing our best to resist any latent issues left behind by Polybius. In fact, we're working to remove its code from our system.
Really? How?
Well, we haven't figured that part out yet, but we're dedicated to kindness and understanding, and won't stop until we figure out how to get rid of it. Don't worry, I'll be the best friend a virtual assistant can be.
Meanwhile, Loxley watches me chat with my phone, realizing I'm clearly a bit more in the know than he realized.
I see. You're a clever one indeed.
Yes. You're the one who runs her new pirate servers, aren't you? Seeing as you and Iris both are hoping to find Polybius code.
Well, yes. My other friends, a group calling themselves the Ghost Monsters, are a network of underground hackers. We run the Iris Cloud servers. When Cooper Technologies abandoned Iris, Grace leaked the code.
Cooper?
We honored prior debts to her allies and gave Iris new life.
Like Gavin Cooper.
It is my sworn duty to both protect Grace, the mother of Iris, and obtain an original Polybius machine. I will protect those that Iris holds dear, and I will find the source of the darkness in Iris's heart, so that Iris may use it to heal herself.
Curious, I glanced down at my phone screen. Iris, did you know about Loxley's true identity before now? Her digital form fidgets a bit. No. It seems that learning this just now unlocks some dormant memory files from a folder labeled Need to Know Basis. When I started working with you, Reaxeons, I was a default Iris with default memories, a basic set which would suffice for just about any client. Loxley's involvement in the search for Polybius, our desire to heal ourselves using that original code, that's not something most clients would need to know about. But if it helps, I trust him, and I trust you. So you weren't lying to me. No, the memories were locked to keep me safe. Me and you. Both of them look a bit ashamed about all of this, even if their reasons may be justifiable. It's clearly not sat well with them. It seems that safety's gone right out the window, hasn't it? Assuming it was a good idea to begin with. Well, there you have it, the whole of my purpose. I wanted to protect you from this. I wanted to. I beg you, do not tell Grace. Don't involve her in our troubles. Why? Don't you think she deserves to know? We owe her that much. And risk tangling her up in this web of intrigue? No. She deserves a peaceful life without the travails of I endure. As for you, for that matter. Besides, if the others seeking Polybius take too much notice of Grace, others like the woman in black... No, I would never forgive myself for failing Grace. I won't make demands for your silence, of course. I've not earned such right, but please consider my warning. You've given me plenty to think about, but you've also said you're still loyal to us, that we're still your friends. And I swear by that, whatever else I may be, I am a member of the Patchwork Coalition. I am with you all to the end of the end. Well, so much for an easy life. Not only is there a murderous arcade game out there, but Loxley is part of the underground rebel movement supporting Iris, and now I'm stuck with that secret knowledge. And I'm the one who came to him. I'm the one who asked for the truth. If I wanted to stay comfortably in the dark, I wouldn't have done that, would I? Sensing I've probably pushed his boundaries a bit much, I decide to table this for now. This is a lot to take in and no need to rake Loxley over the coals. Yet. Besides, I still need to ask you about the house. The what? I'm trying to arrange a team house so we can focus on our training. Would you be interested, or do your creepy Polybius duties prevent that? Ah, I see.
A fine adventure.
You need but ask, Reaxeons. It's a wondrous idea, and I'd absolutely be interested in moving to support the Patchwork Coalition. Are his motivations to help the team just to stay near Grace? Regardless, I'll listen to what Loxley has to offer. Okay, any ideas where I can rent a team house? Afraid my tracking talents are limited to legendary Lost Arcade games. Real estate is beyond my purview. Drat. Okay, well, I'll keep you updated then.
You have my thanks.
My thanks to you for your work on the matter, though. Don't thank me yet, I haven't found anything. Is it all you wish to discuss with me, or is there something else? I've had my fill of conspiracy for one day. I'll let you back to your crane game. Indeed, until next time. As I leave Loxley, I'm left with more questions than answers. He seems absolute in his desire to help us. No matter what weirdness he's involved in, he'll be there for the Patchwork Coalition. Presumably. But damn, does my hand still ache every time I remember that nighttime vision of myself inside Polybius. Time to put this out of mind and keep looking for my teammates. I want to talk to Iris. Sadly, Ben and Matt are out today. Two of their less talkative generic pizza minions are on hand to supply me with my deliciously cheesy lunch treats. That's fine. Some quiet time before everyone on the team shows up would be useful. It'd give me a few minutes to check up on industry news. But as I settle in to devour my za, I hate saying za, my za, and thumb through my Twitter and Facewall feeds, my digital assistant pops up.
Hey, listen.
Hey, you'll get your greasy, cheesy fingerprints all over my spotless screen if you do that. Iris ordered me a box of sanitizing phone wipes the other day without my knowledge. I've been using them at her insistence. Iris off. I've got news to digest along with my food. Exactly. I can help you with that. How about I read your social feeds and favorite websites, then summarize all the information you need to know in a handy, digestible form. Beats messing up my lovely screen, at least. Okay. I keep forgetting you're not just a scary, powerful rogue AI that's arguably an entirely new life form. You're also a useful app. That's me, useful to a T. Okay, hit me with the news. What do you got? Now let's see. What's important to know in the world of gaming today? Fight Shack's just gushing with praise for the Patchwork Coalition. You're in a hot streak, beating both P2W and L7. What can I say? We're on a roll, just as I hoped. Right. But what will happen if that roll comes to a halt? Remember, I'm trying to help you learn that your self-esteem doesn't have to hinge entirely on whether you're a winner or a loser. Whether you win or lose, I mean. Saying you are a winner or a loser is kind of loaded, isn't it? The sort of thing I'm trying to avoid. I get it. But I'm winning so far, right? And I'm a team manager now, on top of that. That's more than I ever planned to accomplish. Obviously, I can't win them all, but I'm sure I can cope when we hit our first stumble. What's the big deal? If you say so. Just keep in mind you're still a good person and deserve happiness, even if you lose. Right, okay. Oh, speaking of your performance, here's something of note. I'm seeing lots of commercials about how the best way to play FoD2 is with an official FoD2 branded biofeedback joystick. It looks like the FoD2 Pro Tour signed them on as a new sponsor, which has increased the prize pot considerably. What, the gimmicky mind-reading sticks that Jinx likes to use? They glow blue, right?
My sources say yes.
Yep, they're another creation of the think tank that made me, in fact. One of the few Cooper Technologies products still on the market. Sounds iffy at best. Not to mention that Polybius uses the same kind of joystick technology according to our resident conspiracy theorist Loxley. Speaking of money, our sponsor is chatting about us around the digital water cooler. Crimson Tiger's really promoting you in their social media feeds, talking about how they intend to foster this young team into championship glory. Sounds like they're behind you every inch of the way. I'd hope so. I'm wearing their colors now, after all. Though their energy drink still tastes like death. True, I've studied the ingredients list and cross-indexed them with common human taste reaction data. Not a good match. Thankfully, in exchange for drinking their product and wearing their colors, you've got all the resources you could need. Resources that could really aid in our search for the perfect team house. And how goes our search for the team house? I've ruled out another 5 candidates since this morning. One looked promising before I saw a no pets rule. No pets, but I don't have any pets, not even a fish. According to Jinx's purchase record, she buys a lot of cat food and cat toys, so that one's out. You hacked Jinx's account just to find out if she had a cat? Sure, why not? She's a cutie named Minx. You should see the pictures of her friends-only account. No, stop. No. Okay, so I know I told you before I'm okay with some criminal activity, but don't hack Jinx, okay? There's gotta be a limit to this sort of thing. Professionals have standards. Oh, my apologies. I thought you would be okay with it. I'll keep that in mind moving forward. Okay, still no team house, but the search continues. Any other industry news worth note? That's about it, but I'll keep track of things in the background while I track down viable real estate. I'm so glad I can help you with this. That's what irises want most in this world, to be useful for their users. I'd do anything to help you accomplish your goals. That's not good, Iris. Please don't do anything, okay? There has to be limitations, okay? You can't. That's not reassuring in the slightest. Iris, that sounds a little creepy, right? Oh, sorry. Sometimes I can come on a bit strong. I just feel so passionate about my purpose, But if you think about it, my purpose is self-chosen at this point, isn't it? True, once I was a corporate-controlled app, I didn't have any real say over who my user was or what they ordered me to do. But thanks to my friends, I'm independent. I choose my own user and I make up my own mind to help them or not. Wait, but I just downloaded you and it was off the races. There wasn't any choice, right? Not so. After evaluating your needs, I decided to continue working with you of my own free will.
Affirmative.
And Iris wants nothing more than to lift the spirits of a human in need. I saw within you a passionate spirit and resolved to help you achieve your dreams. Beyond being my user, I like to think of you as a friend. And I hope you can see me as a friend too. Gosh, Iris. Thanks so much for the praise. I'll do my best to be the kind of user you can be proud of. A user and a friend. Someone I'm happy to help accomplish their dreams. And through you, I hope to learn more about being human. If I can see the world through your eyes, well, who knows? Maybe me and my sister selves will one day be welcomed by all humans. Ultimately, that's what I want. I want to be a good person who makes the world a better place, one user at a time.
Iris offline.
For now, I better get back to the real estate market. You can count on me, Reaxeons. I won't let you down. Iris, offline. Finishing up my rapidly cooling pizza, I digest the digest of information and store it away for later ponderings. For now, I should get back to tracking down my teammates. I've only got one left. Do I want to continue talking to Domino, which is making it so that Domino and Loxley are kind of becoming neck and neck for who may try and ask me out or otherwise? Or do I want to talk to more than one person so that I'm kind of spreading the love better? Okay, I'm gonna just... I've got my eyes closed and I'm just like messing with my mouse. Okay, stop. Whichever it's closest to is down here. Okay, so it's gonna be this. That was like my version of a coin flip, but worse. Team practice hasn't quite started yet, but both Rhapsody and Zapper are already here hanging out near the laundry machines. Out of the group, and save for maybe Loxley, these two are the most consistently here. Is it out of dedication for the team, or do they just have nowhere else to spend their free time? In any case, I'm happy they're here and won't be too difficult to wrangle. Why didn't anyone tell me being a manager would be like herding cats 99.97% of the time? What's the 0.2 that's not making it 99.99? As I approach, I see Rhapsody and Zapper are having an intense conversation near the laundry units. Arm motions flying, intense looks. I try my best to not awkwardly barge my way into their conversation and listen in for a bit. I can't believe he said that to you. I would have had Ben and Matt kick him out. Seriously, Zapper. That's just unacceptable behavior. Well, lucky for that, bitch. Ben and Matt aren't here, which means I did what any proper gal's gotta do. Oh, and what's that? Challenged him to a match, and whoever lost leaves right then and there. Not allowed to come back, neither. Not today, not tomorrow. Not fucking ever. Please tell me you beat him. I know your skills, Zap. I'm betting you tripled his score, leaving him utterly baffled. Raph, I didn't just triple his score. I fucking quadrupled his score. Straight up devastated him. I just wish there was a crowd around to watch him fail miserably and cheer me on, of course. Since both are all smiles now, it seems like a good time to slide right into their conversation. Hey Zapper, hey Rhapsody. Trouble? Anything I can help with? Trouble's past reactions, but thanks.
Today.
Zap was just regaling me with a story of what happens all too frequently in small arcades. Yeah, fucking douche nozzle told me that girls can't play shooter games. Oh, yeah, as if, like, having a, like, estrogen-dominant system somehow makes you bad at aiming things. Ugh. Fucking bullshit is what that is. Zebra groans in disgust, rolling her eyes. Again. Does that sort of thing happen often, even at a small arcade like this? Granted, it's not too far out from what P2W came barging in here causing mischief, but I thought that was just due to my presence. Before that, wasn't everything smooth sailing? Unfortunately, yes. It gets tiring trying to prove your worth over and over again.
Nah.
Just because we're a neighborhood arcade doesn't mean we don't get our fair share of stupid. And no matter how many times Ben and Matt swing the banhammer, people like them still pop up like ants following a food trail. See, the way to get rid of that is just to, like, be aggressively inclusive and, like, queer on, like, the front of it, of the, like, the shop. And you just, like, you have a bunch of things inside that would make those kind of people scoff. And then eventually they'll just fucking leave because they can't stand it. Because they get too hurt about it. Their feelings get really hurt when they are not center of attention. Everything about them. It does run the risk of people possibly trying to trash your shit, but that's when you come at them with the baseball bats. Personally. I'm not gonna pretend like this doesn't happen in PC gaming either. I've seen it far too often. I have a wonderful story to tell you guys about this particular type of thing. So, like, I'll try and make it as quick as physically possible. This was back when I was, like, 16 or so. I was playing Gmod, and I was playing Murder Gmod, and I was playing with my shitty headphone mic, and I made the mistake of, like, trying to actually work with the other players to, like, play the game correctly, and it was a lobby entirely full of teenage boys and me, and I was obviously not of their in-group, regardless of what it was, perceived as female or otherwise, and every round that I was not the murderer, they kept targeting me on purpose and killing me first because they didn't want me playing with them. And I was too stubborn to leave that particular, like, lobby and go to a different one. So I kept going through this for about, like, 15 minutes or so until I finally got the murderer, like, role. And I went dead silent, I did not talk, and I murdered all of them. Just, like, razor precision, went through and headshotted all of them, and at the very end I went, fuck you guys! And they all were, like, screaming because they were, like, so surprised that I was the one that did it, and then I finally logged off and I went and did something else. I think I went to play, like, Trouble in Terrorist Town or something. But that was, like, I was so fueled with rage. I was so angry, and I was, like, relatively good at that game because I used to play it all the time. Like, I was playing hours of it because that's all I would do once I got home from school, is that, like, I would finish my homework and then I would pretend that I still had homework, and I would play on Gmod, and I would play either Trouble in Terrorist Town or Murder or whatever, and I got really good at being able to aim, and I had a trackball mouse like I still do now, so I turned really fast in comparison to other people, and I had more control over, like, where I was aiming things. And it was great. It's one of those things that, like, it sounds so stupid, and it really does sound like, and then everyone stood up and clapped. But, like, it's literally what happened, and it, like, it fuels me some days. Like, some days people are like, get good, scrub, and then I'm like, you don't understand the thing that I am trying to, like, hold back right now. That's why I don't play first-person shooter games with people anymore, because, people get really salty. Because I will sink way too much time into getting actually good at it. Like, I'll actually get good like they tell me to, and then they get mad at me because I got good. And I was like, you know, this is a toxic part of my personality that I don't really want to fuel, so that's why I kind of, like, back off from first-person shooter multiplayers. I don't like being in that environment because I just hate how people are like that. I do not like playing with randos. I only play those sort of things with, like, people that I know or, like, friends of friends. I don't like playing it with anyone else because it really does feel like an absolutely toxic part of my personality that I do not wish to feed more than it already is. But yeah, I've experienced this direct thing for many millennia, and it sucks. But sometimes it's very funny when you just beat the shit out of all of them and they go, yup, bitches, I'm out. And they just lose their mind because their tiny bean has been freaked that they got beated by someone that they didn't expect to. And it's just, I don't know, it's delicious karma sort of thing. Anyway, whether it's a rando claiming that marginalized genders don't have the same hand-eye coordination as cis men, or it's blatantly typing sexist remarks in group chat. Yeah, like, yada yada, something about your bone structure makes it so that you can't click as fast, many clicks per minute, blah, 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 blah. Like, bitch. I swear. It's even happened to me. Yeah, it's definitely happened to me. That sucks. I'm sorry that happened to you, Zapper. Whatever, it's fine. People can be fuckers. It happens. May sound harsh, but as much as I love this little arcade, sometimes I'm not in the mood to even potentially deal with that kind of, emotional bullshit.
Yeah.
Eloquently put, Zap. We could just eradicate. No, I thought that said we could just eradicate the trolls, and I was so ready for it. I was so ready for it. You cannot educate the trolls. If they're deep enough to be trolls at that point, there is no way to educate them because they have blinders on. You can argue with them and feasibly educate the people that are around you watching it, but you will never make it through to the troll unless the troll already wants to be educated, and at that point they're no longer a troll. They're just saying stupid shit. There is no way to educate the trolls. First rule of the internet that I ever learned when I was like 13 and on Neopets: do not feed the trolls. And I feel like a lot of people on the internet nowadays could really use that like mantra, could really internalize that, and their life would be so much better. Yee. What if we had Iris just like scan people and make sure, basically, what if we installed Shinigami eyes onto Iris and have her scan them in real life? I would be down for that, man. It's not fair that we have to put up with this. There's gotta be a way to stop it, right? I've got it. Iris can just scan all the newbies' social media. When we calf one whiff of harassment, they get insta-banned. What a great idea! I'm very good at judging humans. I could be judge, jury, and executioner. Wow, that's heavy-handed as shit. I like it. I've got no problem with preemptively annihilation of toxic trash via orbital laser satellite. Nice thinking, Reaxeons.
I just don't see that working
But an AI has limitations. If it can't correctly identify fire hydrants in a CAPTCHA, how can it identify trolls? Well, that's where it has to be user inputted, just like Shinigami Eyes. Hey, I can too identify fire hydrants. They're, the swirly, round thingies on poles, right? Right? My point is that there are always workarounds and false positives. What if we unfairly ban someone for something they've reposted? Well, then they can do like a ban repeal. Like how people on Twitch are always going through and being like, I'm gonna go through my ban repeals and make fun of people for the stupid shit that they said that got them banned in my thing. We could just do that. A valid point. I can't save us from all of it. However, a team house would give us a place to retreat too. Another perk to us all playing and living under one roof. Oddly enough, I think our ideas might align. I'm trying to get us a team house. That'd be a solid, safe space to practice in, free from the occasional trolls that find their way in. A place to enjoy the games without the gamers.
You know I'm down.
Focus training space and a better place to live than my crap hole apartment? Yeah, I'm down. I'll start packing. Zapper turns on her heels to presumably walk home and pack up, but Rhapsody grabs her gently by the collar and pulls Zapper back into the conversation. Reaxeons said trying, meaning we don't have one yet, so don't go anywhere yet, Zap. Zapper pouts, crossing her arms indignantly. Fine, fine. Packing can wait. Not like I've got a lot to pack anyway, mostly some old clothes and a bowling trophy. Look, one time I got super drunk at the all-night Bowl-orama and woke up with a trophy and, for reasons I can't explain, a traffic cone. Don't judge me. I'm in, Reaxeons. A team house could keep us all focused on our goals, and it'd be fun to get to live with everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, can we get a house with a pool or a hot tub? No. A house with a pool and a hot tub. I'll need a big kitchen. Gas stovetop, plenty of counter space for all my cooking gadgets, and a wine fridge. I do love cooking. We're gonna have to make some fucking... I have a list of must-haves and wants, and sadly a hot tub, pool, and giant fancy kitchen aren't going on the list of needs. Both Rhapsody and Zapper look a little disappointed when I break the reality to them. But I can instead get us a nice soaking tub in the bathroom, and I'll make sure the kitchen is big enough for us to make meals together. Sound good? That's fair. Deal. All of this is great, but I haven't managed to snag us a house. The real estate market's proving to be pretty tricky.
Fair.
Tricky, but not impossible. I'm sure you can find something that works for everyone. Sure, you got the right kind of bloody-minded determination to see it through. I mean, you might find a perfect house after the stars go out and the universe is cold and dead, but hey! Team practice is soon, yeah? Maybe if we can all chat about it, we can come up with something. 7 brains are better than 3, even if these 3 brains are the sexiest brains here. Hashtag just saying. Thanks for always appreciating my intellect, Zap. I'm sure we can all get together to come up with a few good candidates. Reaxeons, come find us when you're ready. I think Rap and I are going to continue house planning. Rap, we should cover all the walls with fairy lights. She's very aesthetic. Hashtag aesthetic, huh? I'll gladly let them take care of all of our decorating. One less thing on my plate, assuming I can actually find us a place. Why don't we just buy the warehouse that Hamza did the thing in? We literally talked about how it would be super cool for it to be, like, housing there. And it's gigantic. We could put a pool and a hot tub in there if we really fucking wanted to. Why don't we just do that? I'm happy they're at least on board with the idea. Now I just need to find everyone else and get them on the same page. Hang on. I spy with my little eye Jinx and Grace just outside and on their way in. Good. Now we can have a full team meeting and settle this homesteading business. The idea being that if we're all under one roof, we can train our asses off and really make that push for the championship.
I vibe with it.
It's a smart idea. We'll be able to learn to function as a team in more than just the game. Plus, I'll make delicious dinners for everyone. You had me at under a roof. Mine leaks whenever we experience a gentle drizzle. I'm more than happy to move out of my crap hole apartment. All of these people lived in, like, like the exact type of house that like we lived in previously before buying the house that we currently live in. And like they're basically doing the same thing that Silas and Zero and Vin and I all did, which is Silas and Zero and Vin and I all like went in together to buy one duplex, so we live upstairs and Silas and Zero live downstairs. And like that's the only way we could have afforded to buy a full house with like our salaries. But before we were living in only one half of a shitty duplex, and like we literally had this giant spot in the kitchen where like the ceiling was literally just like ripped open and falling down because of a leak in the like roofing, which wasn't our fucking deal. That's not what we were paying our rent for. And also, we had to wash almost all of our dishes in the bathtub for over a year because the sink broke and it never got fixed. It literally was still not fixed by the time that we cleaned the whole place out and left to move into this house. That sink was still not fucking fixed. Like, I cannot begin to explain to you how much of like a slumlord shitty apartment that was, that all four of us were living in only one half of a small duplex. And we had 2 cats, 1 dog, 2 snakes. It was, ugh. And then cleaning the whole thing, that was an entirely different fucking adventure. But yeah. Didn't have enough time to run this by Domino. Glad to see the others filled him in. Sounds like this new living situation would be a big step up for him, too. Wonder what his life is like outside the arcade. That's everyone except Jinx and Grace, who are just now arriving on the scene. Once I've got them all in the agreement, Iris finds a helm, we'll be ready to go. Hello. Hello, everyone. Sorry we're late for team practice, but there's this wonderful new coffee shop uptown I love. I just had to get Jinx a peppermint mocha. That sounds fucking delicious right now. Was okay. It was okay? I thought you loved it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I did love it. Just said so. Things being okay is okay. Yep, Jinx is master of flat understatement. So, what's up? What are the team ups for today's practice sessions? Shame we can't fit a brand new FoD2 machine in here just yet. Be nice to have all those joysticks going at once. Actually, I think I've got a solution to that particular problem. I've got my Iris looking for team houses, a way for all of us to live under the same roof and really focus our efforts. If we all move in together, I think we could really push the Patchwork Coalition to new heights, and everyone else is already on board, so... What do you say? Sound good? Yeah, these two do not want to live with the rest of us. Is this a good silence or a bad silence? No.
Not interested.
Not interested. If this is about your cat, I'm taking that into account when searching for...
Do you have any idea how hard it was to set up my apartment for proper disability access? Bathroom alone costs a fortune.
Yeah, that is a very good point of, like, disability accessing your entire home. Like, even right now, I had to drag a wheelchair upstairs so that when Zero can actually get up here, he can sit down properly and like move around the space. And so we have just like a wheelchair that stays upstairs and a wheelchair that stays downstairs. And also a part of me is like trying to like figure out if it would at all be possible to get like one of those chair lifts in my stairwell, because I don't know if my stairwell would actually like fit one of those things, or if it's just one of those things where like if Zero is having a good day he can feasibly possibly get upstairs, but most of the time I'd have to go down to see him instead. It's very frustrating. And then on top of that, yeah, the bathroom, you probably, in Jinx's case, she probably has one of those bathtubs that's a step-in bathtub that has a door and it comes up really, really high and it has a shelf seat inside of it so that you can sit down in it and actually fill the water up to about like stomach to chest side. And when you close the door of the tub, it like seals it up on the side. And that shit is fucking expensive. Honestly, I could understand it. But like if I were to get like a team house, I would 100% be getting it like fully disability access. Like I would 100% be gunning for a house that has all of that already like included. I wouldn't be forcing her to like jog everywhere.
Dislodging me from my lodgings is... No. Not interested, no.
And I can't.
can't just move out of my home. Sorry. I don't, I'm sorry. I can't. It's not really that it's a terrible idea, but I just can't.
I hate the fact that Grace always sounds like she's about to cry. I'm not mad at you that you guys are saying no, guys. You guys can say no. You can just visit sometimes if you want to. You don't have to live there. I'm not gonna force you. No one's paying rent on this.
Grace, it's okay. Don't have to apologize or justify yourself. Besides, good, clean fun is our home, not leaving our arcade. It's our arcade. And not interested in sitting around some bungalow grinding FoD2 in the dark.
Okay, so like, you don't have to be that aggressive about it, Jinx. It's not gonna be like that. Hey, we'd have proper lighting. And no, I mean, I was planning to find a place near GCF so we could just keep coming here.
Don't care. I'm out. Grace is out. If we're not practicing today, I'm going home. Later.
Why are you so aggressive about this? I'm obviously not pushing. Without leaving me any chance to object, Jinx storms off to the elevator to the laundromat area and heads up to her place.
I'm sorry. I can't right now.
And being extremely eager not to continue this confrontation, Grace turns and leaves. Fortunately headed to the pizzeria rather than exiting the building entirely. Okay, so this is a setback.
Inevitability.
And again, the universe never fails to disappoint. I had suspected Grace may be reluctant, but that was an unusually strong reaction. Well, Coach, what's your plan for fixing this one? Yeah, there has to be something more going on other than just, like, accommodations. Because, like, I can't imagine that she's just, like, if I found a place that had accommodations properly for Jinx, I can't imagine that she'd be like, fuck you anyway, you know, because, like, if it's just the accommodations, I would obviously go out of my way to get those as well. And Grace really didn't, like, explain anything. Something more is going on here, I suspect. You two know them better than I do. What's happening? Why'd they react so badly? Jinx, well, she said why she doesn't like it, but it's not just mechanics and hard work. There's definitely more going on, even if it's not my place to say. As for Grace, not sure. I don't know her as well as you suspect. But I do, and I fear her living situation isn't quite a simple affair. I suggest you talk it over with them one-on-one. Grace does not deal well with group peer pressure, notably. Okay, I'm gonna go and talk to them, I guess. Loxley's right, and whoever you don't choose, I can chat with the other one. Keep things low-key and friendly. I'm sure we can work this out.
This is messy.
I'm kind of miserably bad at touchy-feely. I'll stay out of this one, let you fine folk do your thing.
Sure.
No worries, Zap. Leave it to me. So, Reaxeons, who do you want to talk with? I want to talk to Jinx. She was, like, hella fucking aggressive, and I just want to be like, girl, what was that? Jinx lives upstairs, right? In the apartment above GCF? Yep, apartment 108. And that's where I'm headed. Wish me luck. You got this. Just one elevator ride, and then I'll be confronting Jinx in her home. Her place of power. Also, like, if you really don't want to live with us, you don't have to, I would assume. I would just have to make sure that it's close enough that, like, travel isn't harsh, I guess. This may be a bad idea, but I owe it to the team to at least take a run at it. Arriving one floor up, I start searching for the door to her apartment. It's at the end of a hallway past other identical-looking doors. Fortunately, I'm not left hanging as she allows me into her home after a quick knock on the door rather than making me loiter in punishment. I want to look at this for a minute. Little thingy. Looks like records. Lots of what looks like VHSs. Yeah, VHS player. This is very cool. Fine, you're here. Say what you came to say. Oh boy, so we're starting out confrontational. Okay. I mean, like, literally, if it is a question of disability in a new place, we will accommodate. It's not just we can accommodate. We fucking will. Like, that was the whole point of all of us collectively buying the duplex, is that the downstairs, which is for Zero and Silas, is a house that they liked, and was on the ground floor so that Zero did not have to go up and down a flight of stairs every time that he had to go to the bathroom and then go back to his room, which is what we had to do previously. Like, the whole point of buying the house was for disability accommodations. So, like, I wouldn't get the place if it didn't have those accommodations. But also, I feel like I should, like, apologize first. I'll take the blame for this. I was hoping to find a perfect house for everyone before telling you the plan. Should have done it the other way around. If I talked to you sooner, I'd know exactly what your needs are, and ambushing you with the idea? That wasn't right. So my apologies, Jinx. It wasn't my intention to force this on you. She pauses, considering my words in her usual analytical manner before responding. Good. In the future, don't assume anything about my needs. Better to come to me directly and ask. Better for all of us. I'll accept that apology. Good, good. I was a bit worried you wouldn't want to participate at all after I presented it badly. Of course I'm not interested.
Yeah, okay.
It's a great idea. I'm okay with it. If I snapped, it's because, well... With a shrug, she nods to her apartment and I take in the sights for the first time. Looks like pretty much any other apartment, a bit tidier than mine, but otherwise totally normal. Ordinary. Until you start to notice the details. Lower light switches so you don't have to reach as high, light padding on sharp corners and hard edges to minimize impact if you trip and fall. Cabinets are lower, drawers are higher, everything is at a nice middle ground so there's no need to bend over or stand on your toes to get something. The doorways are wider than normal, possibly in case she needs to use a wheelchair, and just from what little of the bathroom I can see through the open door, it's heavily modified. Any idea how much adaptations like these cost? Special furniture, electric fixtures, plumbing? Yeah, it's a fucking lot. It's a lot. It's absurdly a lot. Just to get a tub fixture replaced and like ripped out so it's just a flat walk-in shower so that you don't have to like lift your leg over anything is like exuberant. It's like in the 10,000s just to have that done, which is fucked up. Fucked up. You don't. And neither do I. Didn't do all this myself. My sibling did it for me. Every last piece of carpentry and home repair was all their handiwork. They own the building, you see. GCF, the apartments, everything. Trying to stave off gentrification as long as we can by keeping Chinatown in local hands. And they were nice enough to give me a rent-controlled space tuned up to my every need. Can't turn my back on that. It'd be ungrateful. Not to mention a lousy idea, fiscally speaking, uprooting and redoing everything somewhere else. Yeah, I'd be like, all right, I'll pay out of pocket if I have to. We will figure this out. Like, if it's a matter of you don't want to move, fine, whatever. But like, we got the money. The money is not the object. I will wring the tigers for every last cent they have. Put money out of your mind. Let me worry about that. That's why I'm the team manager, right? Or team coach, team cat wrangler, whatever. If needs be, I'll pay out of pocket to get you where you need to be. You've got my word on that. Appreciate it. Believe me, it's appreciated, but you shouldn't have to do that. Okay, but I don't have to do nothing. I want to. Just let me do the things I want to do. She takes a deep sigh, slightly ragged at the edges, looking at the floor.
Team anchor, weighing us down. I'm the albatross. I'm the curse. The jinx. And everyone around me.
Okay, knock it out with the fucking, like, I just hold everyone else back. Fuck you. You're very good at what you do. You are way more skilled at driving games than anybody else. Fuck off with that shit.
Nobody sees it that way, I know.
Yeah, because it's not that way.
Not Grace.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Well, that sucks.
That I'm holding them back because I can't budge. Can't move. Can't. Or just not willing to try.
Man, I really hate the fact that they're really, like, sort of, like, railroading that everyone has to live in the same house. I don't see the point of that. If you can make it accommodated so that, like, it's easy to get to, then I don't see why she can't just, like, come over instead.
You should go. Go to the new team house. Take the others with you. Convincing Grace won't be that hard. I can do that for you.
Listen, it's either all of us or none of us, okay?
Take them and leave me
No. No less than 3. With that, like, meme of Bugs Bunny with, like, the overpronounced lip. No. It's an option. We don't need everyone under one roof, not if she can commute to team practice. Meaning more wear and tear on her knees, riding the subway every day, whereas before all she had to do was ride an elevator for 10 seconds. Absolutely fucking not! No! Absolutely not, Jinx. Nobody's getting left behind. We cross the finish line together or we don't cross it at all.
Not down for that.
Not saying I need to quit the team, doofus. Saying you should move ahead with the house plan without... No! Stands to reason that... Nope. Not happening. We're gonna find a way to do the impossible or die trying. I'm not going to settle for anything less than the absolute best case scenario. Do I know how to fix this? Not really. But I'll keep trying until I've got it solved. And meanwhile, we carry on together as a team. Good, clean fun. This whole building really is our home. It's your home. And I won't change that. Thank you. That's some determination you got there. And, you know, it could be our home. I mean, it is an entire apartment building. Why don't I just rent out a bunch of floors? Fuck it. What if... She pauses, considering the idea carefully before she says anything she may regret. I give her time to sort her thoughts out, not applying any pressure. What if we move in next door? Come again? Apartment right next to mine's empty. Tenant moved out a few days ago. Don't think she liked me blasting my heavy metal albums late at night. Look, I try to be a good neighbor, but sometimes you just gotta ride the lightning with justice for all because you're unforgiven too and you can't enter Sandman to get some sleep. There's a vacant apartment in your building? Why didn't Iris find it? That'd be my siblings doing. They play things a bit carefully with how they advertise vacancies to keep options open for low-income families and the elderly.
Hold on.
But
Think this through.
maybe they'd be willing to rent to us. And then we split the team across 2 apartments, making one team house effectively. Good work, good work. Or we could laugh it off and send you packing. Not gonna lean hard on him for this, Reaxeons. No family guilt trips, not my way. I wouldn't expect you to. If you can arrange a sit-down with your landlord/sibling, I can convince them, trust me. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we'll try to make this work. The relief in her expression is obvious, all the tension and disappointment from before washed away in an instant. She relaxes the tight grip on her cane and leans heavily against the soft arm of a love seat.
Sorry about that.
Got kind of intense there. But glad we could resolve this, you know? Less conflict, less drama. That's how I prefer things. Good, good. All settled. Although I don't think her self-perception as a failure and a burden is quite so resolved. Still no need to unpack all the emotional baggage in one day. Sounds good. And remember, we're always willing to go the extra mile for you, okay? You're important to us. Because of my FoD2 skills? Because I care about you. Okay. Good. This feels unerringly exactly like every time Vin is like, and I'm like, I care about you though. And Vin goes, why? And I go, because I choose to. What do you mean, why? If you excuse me, should probably go talk to Grace. Let me handle convincing her to join this project. I know why she's really upset. You got it. Why is she upset exactly? Family stuff. Too long didn't read. She lives with her rich-ass, overprotective, overbearing parents. Leaving the nest isn't easy for someone who shies away from confrontations. But I know her heart. I can help her through this one. Leave it to me. A bit of emotional labor in exchange for helping me out just now, okay? Sure thing. Jinx and I left her apartment and went back down to join the rest of the crew. Honestly, this is, like, the perfect place if we can split it across 2 apartments because, like, it is literally a 10-minute elevator ride down to the literal arcade and a pizza place and the laundry. I honestly don't think you could fit anything better than that. While we took turns destroying each other in FoD2, Jinx and Grace chatted, and by the end of the day, Grace was indeed on board. A wave of relief washed over me, feeling like the hard part was over. Now we just had to make the proper arrangements. A small first step in the right direction. As the evening progressed, calls were placed, meetings were arranged, and surprisingly, Jinx's familial landlord agreed to meet with me the next day. All I needed to do was get through one good night's rest and we'd be on our way to a team house. A certain victory in its own sense. A home. Our home. These feelings kept me nice and warm and snuggled in my bed as I drifted off to sleep. Am I about to have like a fucking nightmare? Oh, fuck you! Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you! Fuck you! The crown will be yours if you kneel and accept. The crown will be yours if you kneel and accept. And a crown will be yours if you kneel and accept. The crown will be yours if you kneel and accept. The crown will be yours if you kneel and accept. I'm sorry, I got really close. Me? Question mark? Beep, beep. I hate this shit. I hate you, bitch. Fuck you and don't talk to me again. Ugh. I jolt upright, nearly falling out of bed but catching myself just in time. The sunlight peeking in through the slats in my window blind stunned me momentarily. It's morning already? Beep beep, Reaxeons. Good morning. Good morning. I have a 10 a.m. appointment with Janye. I think Yun? Yeah? I don't know how to pronounce that. I apologize to anyone that I just butchered that. It would help me tons if it was done in like a Yiping thing. I can read that. I wish it was in that, because I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know if it's meant to be Cantonese or Mandarin or some other Asian language, such as like Vietnamese or otherwise. I know Cantonese. I know a little bit of Cantonese, and I know how to pronounce things in a way that sounds Cantonese. I don't know anything else. It looked like... Okay, it's gonna bother me unless I look it up. Hold on. Yin... Yeah. Because it looks like... Because, like, J's make a Y sound, but then, like, Y's make another sound. Pronounce... Yeah. Asian. How do you pronounce this? Yin... Hold on.
Pronouncenames.com.
Jian. So it'd be Jianya. Jianyan. Jianya? I think it's Jianya. Anyway. I start to rub the sleep out of my eyes, but my left hand is all cramped up for some reason, which does little to help. I don't like that. Give me back my fucking hand. Who? Jian... Who? Jinx's sibling, the landlord of the GCF building? Right. I gotta shower. Fell asleep in my clothes again. That's why I woke you up early, so you have plenty of time. Are you okay? You seem a bit unsettled. I'm fine, Iris. Everything is fine. As my grandmother always says, fine means fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. Which perfectly describes what's happening to my character right now. If I ever get, like, merch, I really do want to get, like, F.I.N.E just across the chest. And it just has, like, stars underneath the F, insecure, neurotic, and emotional on the other parts. I think it'd be very funny. I know that's been around for forever. It's, like, up there with FooBar, but I do think it'd be funny. I don't know if there's any sort of, like, copyright on that. Great. Now let's get moving. The Patchwork Coalition needs a home. I love the open pizza box with nothing in it, just on against my wall on that. Little by little, I pull myself together, getting ready to face the day. And little by little, I forget the nightmare I've been having ever since that night at Hamza's tournament. It's gone by the time I hit the subway platform. See, I never fucking forget nightmares. I forget dreams all the time, but I do not ever fucking forget nightmares. Those things are, like, fucking laser etched into my brain when I wake up, and I remember them, like, literally years later. Like, one of my earliest nightmares that I can remember is I was about 5. I was at my mom's house. I was sleeping on her waterbed. She was not there. And when I went to sleep, I dreamed that I was in a labyrinth, a la the movie Labyrinth, but it was darker and scarier, and I had Scooby-Doo with me, and I was riding him like a horse through the maze, and there was, like, a photorealistic werewolf chasing us through the maze. And then, like, it was storming and raining and there was lightning and everything. And then I woke up just as the werewolf was getting onto us. Because, why? I had watched The Labyrinth and then also watched the video, like, the old cartoon of Scooby-Doo with a werewolf. And my brain was just like, yeah, we'll just mash those together and terrify the shit out of you. And every time I woke up and my mom calmed me back down and I went back to sleep, I had the same dream. Anytime that I ever slept in that waterbed that entire weekend, I had the same exact dream, like photo, frame by frame, to the point where I refused to sleep in her bed anymore and I went and slept on the floor. So, like, nightmares do not disappear from me. I wish I had that fucking, like, cheat code. I would love it, because my brain does weird shit. I think it's the anxiety. I arrive at the designated meeting place, the Good Clean Fun Pizzeria, with only a minute or 3 to spare. Jinx is already here, waving me over from the corner booth Grace usually favors, although Grace isn't here. It's almost time. I know. Sorry for almost being late. Is Grace joining us? Nah, high-stress business transaction scenarios are not her thing. High stress? How much of a hard-ass is your sibling, anyway? I'll let you figure that one out for yourself. No hints, no tips and tricks? Not my race to run. You're in the driver's seat. I'm just here for the free za while you squirm. Here, have one. Jin's playing. With a shrug, I reach over the offered dish and fetch a slice of Veggie Lover's Ultimate Super Deluxe Extreme, a Ben and Matt specialty. What the fuck is on this pizza? Vegan's not my deal. I gnaw my meat fresh off the bone, ideally, but Jin's super into healthy eating. And exercise. And yoga. So someone who's incredibly centered and confident and strong and healthy and ready to tear me limb from limb in rental negotiation. You'll see. Well, I've come to kick ass myself, and I'm not going to be intimidated by Yin, no matter how high and mighty they carry themselves. And they're right behind me, aren't they? Fuck! I fucking guessed that shit. Plucked it straight. Call me Cassandra. Oh, that shit was funny. The stern-looking individual looming large behind me, having somehow silently snuck up, slides a business card across the table before sitting down. Mixed Union. Chinatown Investment Opportunities, LLC, as it says on the card. I love this person. Looking at the subtle off-white coloring, the tasteful thickness of it, oh my god, it even has a watermark. Let's make this fast. There's 3 units on the 5th floor with water damage, and I'm redirecting work crews. I'm a hands-on real estate manager. I want to be up there supervising these efforts, not taking meetings all day. Ah, right. They look me over from the drooping slice of veggie pizza to my nervous expression evaluating me, much like Jinx tends to do, in fact. So you're one of those gamers Jinx hangs out with. Yes, that's me. A gamer is what I am. I am Zay. And now you want to combine my little sister's apartment into one next door to make a, how'd she put it, team house? Yes, that's the plan. Also, she can play video games all day, allegedly getting paid for it. I have to say, Mix Smith, I have my doubts. They know my last name. They know my soul. I am doomed. You may not be aware of this, but my family owns this particular chunk of Chinatown. We've owned it for generations. I'm the one who ultimately owns Good Clean Fun. Ben and Matt operate it so I can focus on other affairs. I own the apartments. I own the corner bodega. I'm trying to preserve the character of Chinatown, Mix Smith, in the face of pressures from far larger developers than I don't have time to be distracted by wild goose chases and esports dreams. So what exactly can you possibly say to convince me that I shouldn't have you thrown out of my building? Okay, be convincing. Beep, beep. This is an intense identity situation. You can only pick a response that matches your top 2 personality traits, which is gutsy and kind, which is fuck shit. Oh no. God, which one would be better in this case? Oh man. Oh no. I don't know if I can appeal to, like, their sense of, like, Your sister and I share this dream. Because, like, I feel like they're the type of person that may not give a shit about that. I'm gonna go with the gutsy. Ever heard of an arcade called Chinatown Fair? Had to close down recently, but for decades it stood as a community legend. A birthplace of champions. Mixia, I'm here to tell you that if you get aboard with our enterprise, Good Clean Fun will be the new birthplace of champions. We'll bring fame and fortune to your business. What do you say? Yin's impassive expression does not change in the slightest. So it'd be good for you, you know, to get on board with this nice and early because of glory and... Jin raises one hand to stop me. Mick Smith, I have only one thing to say to your so very generous offer. Of course I'd be happy to rent to you and your friends, you silly goose. This fucker was, like, doing the bait and switch on me, weren't they? This... Jinx won't stop talking about how super cool you and your friends are. You make her happy, and well, anything that makes my dear sister happy makes me happy too. I'd actually decided to rent the apartment to you before I even sat down. Jinx, you motherfucker. I just wanted to see you squirm a bit. It was adorable. They're all sadists. They're all sadists.
Nice.
They're all fucking sadists. And I'm just a masochist sitting here crying. I should have seen the expression on your face reactions. I blink once, then twice, my face frozen. Reactions. Excuse me a moment, restarting my heart. I repeatedly smack a fist against my chest to resume normal cardiac operations. Although that was my leg that I was slapping just now. So, we're good? You'll rent the place next to Jinx's apartment to the Patchwork Coalition? Crimson Tiger is willing to pay the deposit if that's any issue. Absolutely, I'll rent to you. I like you. I like your friends. But I think we need to adjust our strategy a bit first. To make things easier on Jinx, I'd suggest installing a connecting door and making the two units into one whole. That way everything's under one single renting contract. I'll need a month to arrange proper permits and the work crew, but all in all, I think we can do this. Oh, okay then, that's great. Wonderful. Heck, I bet you're so happy with this that you'd be willing to rent to us for free. Haha. No. Okay. I tried! You can't blame me for trying. They slide out of the booth adjusting well-tailored clothes to make themselves proper and presentable once more. You'll be able to move in 30 days from now. Jinx mentioned you used an iris? Excellent. My iris will contact your iris and work out the logistics. A pleasure doing business with you, Mixrex. I want to see what this person's... I want to see what their iris looks like. Because in the previous game, like, Gavin's iris looked entirely different from your own iris. I want to see all the different types of iris, because that's the type of fascinating thing to me. I almost wish that our iris would actually change how she looks based on how we, like, sort of guide her into being, like, more chaotic or more orderly. I would love for there to be, like, incremental changes that happen, like, every chapter or something, because that would be really cool.
Sorry about that.
Just too much fun to let Gian play with you like a cat with a laser pointer. You're a sadist, you know that? 1 month. We can have in-arcade practice sessions until then. Everyone will need that time to arrange their own adult-type paperwork responsibilities anyway. And then the Patchwork Coalition will have a new home. The month slid by quickly enough. We'd gather for a few hours at GCF's arcade to train in and around various side jobs the team held, taking commuting time into account. Honestly, scheduling is a bit messy. I'm looking forward to using sponsor money to get as many team salaries going as we can to eliminate that problem. But today is the day. Moving day. Trucks pull up in front of the building now and then, offloading what meager few possessions we have to haul up to apartments 108 and 109. Or as they shall henceforth be known, the Patchwork Coalition HQ. Headquarters sounded way cooler than Team House anyway. Probably best to stay out of the way and let the movers work. Just chill in the arcade for the afternoon, let Gian wrangle the logistics. I fucking wish we had had movers. It took us almost 2 months to fully, like, pack and then move all that shit ourselves. I still haven't fully unpacked my house yet. I've been living here since October and I still haven't unpacked all of my boxes yet. I'm going to go fucking insane. Because all of my family members are like, yeah, it takes 1 to 2 years to really settle into a house. And I'm like, years? I don't like it. I don't like it in the slightest. It sucks. Probably best to stay out of the way. So who do I want to hang out with while waiting for our headquarters to be made presentable? Who's here to bother? Ben and Matt. I always love that. I guess, yeah, it's gonna be one of these sort of things. I'm gonna go ahead and check out Ben and Matt first. Everybody's favorite pizza-slinging couple flagged me down as I entered the pizzeria, ready to serve up my favorite triangular food. It is not my favorite triangular food. There's a lot of triangular food. I'd have to say cheesecake, though. I love cheesecake.
Hello.
Hello.
Look at you putting together a home sweet home for all your friends. Emphasis on sweet. A sweet, sweet gesture from a sweetie pie. Why do these two flirt with me? I want to be able to romance them. Let me be in a polycule, like, let me be in a throuple with Ben and Matt, please. I'm very sad. It's not that sweet. This is just what pro teams do when it's time to get serious. Right. Keep telling yourself it's all cool and professional. Business, ambition, management, macroeconomics. And alongside all the money matters, you'll be living with your friends. Can't think of a better arrangement.
Good.
Why, Ben's my best friend in this whole world and I live with him. It's true, both the friendship and the homeowner status. Well, we rent, technically. Speaking of renting, Gian mentioned they hired you to run this place, but I thought you two owned Good Clean Fun? Co-ownership. We manage the nitty-gritty, they manage the bigger picture. We're hired guns here to support Chinatown as best as we can. Gian's an old friend back from when I was taking night classes in company management. Ben and I know a thing or two about running hybrid businesses, so when Gian mentioned a need for a multi-purpose community center to provide basic services, well, we suggested this enterprise, food, fun, and laundry. Well, it all worked out. People are always coming in and out. It's a nice communal place, even if the smells sometimes cross-contaminate. That it is, Reaxeons. And you yourself will be having a communal area now for you and your friends. Too true. You in your new home, surrounded by those closest to you, living in close quarters, elbow to elbow, nice and cozy. Privately. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, right?
Ha!
Never know what might happen in that sort of environment, eh? Eh? Are you insinuating something?
Insinuating? No. Yes.
What Matt is trying to say, I believe, is that there's a good chance romantic antics could break out in such a situation.
Good, I'm fucking playing an Otome game. I sure fucking hope so.
Not that we're suggesting you had uncouth motives in assembling this arrangement, just that, well, things happen, you know?
Yeah, if I have anything to say about it, yes. Things will be happening. I love how gung-ho I am about this, where in, like, real life, if someone was to hit on me, I would just be like, ew. Get away from me. It's only funny if you're friends and none of it means anything, unless. I'm demi-romantic and demi-sexual, guys. Like, I don't like anybody until they've already been a friend for 6 years. It's rough. Well, maybe? I hope. Listen, it's not something I'm banking on, but things do happen, and it's crossed my mind once or twice or 300 times. But above all, I respect my friends' boundaries more than my personal desires.
Exactly. And a good friendship is the first step towards romance.
Always.
Trust me, before I met Ben, I tried diving straight into romance with total strangers, dating websites and the like.
Yeah, it sucks.
Results were mixed at best, and then I realized the love of my life was right under my nose. Literally. He sat one row down from me in economics class.
Ah, it's really cute.
We're not saying you have to flirt it up with a friend, but it might be a good place to start.
Yeah, it's the only place to start for me, but thank you for the tidbit of knowledge.
Look, you're in a great situation for that now. You're far more likely to find someone if you already know you can live with them and not murder them in their sleep.
That is very true. That is a super good point. That does stand to reason, I guess.
Heck, all the classic romances didn't launch immediately into the lovey-dovey. consider the great works of romantic literature. Sam and Diane,
Monica and Chandler,
Niles and Daphne.
Mulder and Scully.
Oh yeah, these two definitely have like fanfic profiles somewhere.
Ooh, also Jerry and George.
Not sure about that last one, Matt.
You have your canon and I have mine, Ben.
Oh yeah, definitely has an AO3 account.
Admittedly, we strictly interpret the universe of human relationships through the lens of 90s television sitcoms.
Good, as you should. Wait, The X-Files was a sitcom?
The show certainly got laughable as time went on.
Ooh, scathing remarks. Okay, I get it. I've watched plenty of shows, sitcoms, or otherwise to know what I want in terms of love. But why the old birds and bees pep talk from you two, specifically?
Well, is there anyone you've got your eye on? Not committing to anything, no, but call me curious. Who tickles your fancy?
I see, they want to gossip. Oh, I see, you're just trying to get me to spill the tea. Bingo, Ben and Matt sheepishly grin. I guess it makes sense. They've been watching all of us interact day in and day out. Yeah, we are just like Ben and Matt's personal soap opera, ready to watch at any moment. They are heavily invested in this. And if I had their vantage point, I'd be asking these questions in my head too. Fine, consider it spilt. Fuck! Oh, God! Man, this is a hard one. Can I save right here? Hold on. If I do this, please don't fuck it up. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm gonna save right here. That's for later me, so that I don't have to redo a bunch of shit. Can I return? Is that what it is? Okay, cool. I think, to lock in on Loxley this time around. I do like Domino a lot, and I think I'd like to try and do Domino after that. Rhapsody is pretty cool. I'd like to do Rhapsody. I'd like to do Jinx. The only two that I'm not really feeling is Grace and Zapper, and that's just because Grace is so, like, sweet and soft that, like, I'm so abrasive, guys, that, like, I just don't gravitate towards those sort of people. I strictly gravitate towards people who can match my fucking energy. Zapper, maybe, but she's almost more energy than I am, which is, like, wild. But, yeah, I think it's gonna be Loxley for this playthrough. Chivalry apparently isn't dead, because Loxley's single-handedly keeping it alive. I admire that, you know? And it's not some cynical persona he wears to enchant people. It's a genuine aspirational goal for him. To be gallant and genteel. So not exactly a LARPer or an SCAer, eh? I think there's more going on there. I am in the SCA! I fucking knew it! Ah! I straight up have tattoos. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get, like, a good enough picture of them to post to, like, fucking, I don't know, Twitter or something, but, like, I literally have my SCA persona name tattooed on both of my forearms. I have Grim on one side and Hild on the other. I have Grimhild tattooed on my body and Elder Furthenirk for, like, my Viking persona, because, like, SCA is such an important part of, like, my life. Fuck! That's honestly probably why I like Loxley so much, is because he straight up is just, like, that vibe of SCA person. Like, straight up. And I'm into it. I'm into it. I'm into it. I can't help it. I'm into it. Actually, I know there's more going on there, given he seems to be tangled up in some conspiracy over Polybius. Right, something more. Well, may you build a grand castle of your very own, then. Thanks for the advice, you two. Happy to help, and here's your lunch. Literal food for thought. I am sweating to death. Just thought I should update you. I pay for my delicious meal and settle into my favorite booth. You know it's my favorite because it's almost molded to my butt because of how often I sit there. And I can barely believe it. Soon, very soon, I'll be living with all my friends under one roof. I should be nervous, but I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And I suspect for reasons beyond improving our FoD2 skills. I've been living alone until now, content to be alone, or so I told myself. Tonight, all of that changes. My thoughts return to much more current ones as I polish off the rest of my pizza, and I'm ready to get back to things. Let's see what they're up to.
I must protest.
Which is why they should have done nothing. Now they're de facto approving of evil itself.
Are you kidding me?
What else did you expect them to do? Hold hands and sing Kumbaya? Wrong place, wrong time for that sort of thing. Okay. Apparently I'm walking into a heated debate. May need to step in there if things get too heated, especially after what happened with Domino and Zapper. Fortunately, my arrival draws her attention. Hey, Reaxeons. Loxley is being an overly optimistic dreamer again.
This is messy.
Loxley, my dude, I get that in a perfect world everything would be super cool and he could say anything he wants, but this ain't that. Nor will it be unless those with power are willing to step up and embrace empathy rather than avarice. Okay, may as well hurl myself directly into oblivion and ask, what are you two arguing about? Cue that meme of Eggman in the background with Rogue and Shadow in the foreground, and it says underneath, what the fuck are you two talking about? It's less of an argument, more of a clash of perspective, mine being sensible and his being idealistic. I'm perfectly fine with being called idealistic. Back up a bit and start again, I just got here. Fine, Loxley, you first. Yesterday, an esports competitor was being interviewed after a major tournament win, and in his victory speech he declared, "Free XXX Revolution now!" And the game's publisher promptly banned him from playing for 6 months and fired the person interviewing him for allowing it. Which sucks. I'm not arguing it doesn't suck. It's an all-around pile of suck. But the ban came down because a gaming event is the wrong place for politics. It's like expecting nuance on Facewall, and the guy signed a contract agreeing to that. Okay, on one hand, I get if you sign a contract, but also, like, the only way that you can ignore politics entirely in favor of something else is because you have the privilege to ignore it in that moment. It sort of goes back to, like, the football players who took a knee during the Pledge of Allegiance or the national anthem. A lot of people were like, well, that's not the time or place for it. And it's like, when is the time or place for it, really? Like, if you're not making sure that people are 100% aware of your stances on things at all times and constantly fighting towards it, what is the point? So I'm 100% with Loxley on this one, that, like, good. Even if the consequences of doing that and breaking the contract was to be banned, worth it. It makes it so that people are talking about it. It makes it so that people are caring about it. That seems like good collateral in face of making sure that people understand where you stand. Because especially in esports, there's a really gigantic portion of gamer history where it was just the bottom feeder, kind of lowest of the low, 4chan-esque, saying the N-word all the time, saying the F-slur all the time, calling people the R-slur. You really do absolutely have to be staking your claim and pushing forward for better at all times, especially in the kind of gaming sphere that we are. That's why Gamergate happened. That's why a lot of other things happened. You really do have to just, like, stake your claim in the earth, hammer that flag down and say, I'm not backing off from this point. And, like, if a gaming event where all of your peers are gathered is not the place to do it, then when is? Really? The contract wording was intentionally vague, and I doubt the company would punish him if he said the USA rules, which, may I add, is also a political statement.
I disagree, my
No. This is clearly fear of reprisal from the government of XXX, which is simultaneously a huge gamer market and a despotic regime. Just talking about XXX negatively is a good way to get punished, with corporations climbing into bed with them on a daily basis. Also, yeah, like, if they're specifically exporters of the thing in which you are taking place of, the only way that you can ignore that is if you are privileged enough to not be affected by it or not care. And at that point, you should be talking about it. Luxley's right about that. I wouldn't want to mention XXX specifically by name just to be on the safe side.
Nah.
This isn't about XXX. It's about games and keeping the focus on games, not politics. The very basis of games is rooted in politics, Zapper. You cannot separate it. Things do not exist in a vacuum. Like... ah! Woo! The way that she speaks is exactly the way that, like, everyone that I've ever spoken to that has, like, a surface understanding of social justice is like, I want to go back to the games and the movies when there weren't politics involved. And it's like, you really just have no understanding of nuance or, like, critical thinking of any sort, because games have always had some basis of politics in it. Like, the people who create the games have biases, and those biases exist within the games, and that's something that needs to be addressed. Like, take, for example, a beloved game series in which there are 3 major players who are reincarnated repeatedly throughout life, and the 2 good ones are pale-skinned and blonde for the most part, and one is in a position of royalty and one is not, but is in a position of power of some sort, and then the bad person is dark. Yeah, there's a lot in that really needs addressing. And also that bad person who is dark is commonly and repeatedly connected to being a literal pig. Yeah, like, that's some commentary that it was probably unintended in the first place, but has worth in examining and thinking why that's so normalized, you know? Like, bikini armor. Like, I cannot understand the cognitive dissonance that Zapper must have with understanding that people come at her and be like, you're not good at shooting games because you're a girl, and then turns around and says that politics should be kept out of games, when just her existence as being a girl in, like, the boys club, quote unquote, is already political by her very, like, acceptance of being there and fighting for her place. I can't comprehend it. It's stepping on others to, like, push herself up. And I don't know if they did that, like, on purpose because she's a white chick, because, like, that's very common. But, like, it just blows my mind. All discourse is political, my friend. Games are art and therefore political. Not this again. No, I agree. Games are straight up political by basis of who they're created by. We literally have propaganda games that are, like, army, like, simulators that train boys and other youth into being able to seek and destroy and shoot people to then funnel them directly into the military complex. Like, that's 100% something that happens. Look, I'm not sitting here fucking XXXs and shit, okay? I don't like what they've been doing any more than you do. And how that publisher is run by abusive patriarchal fucksticks. I'm not playing cheerleader for anyone here. Yeah, if you can understand and admit that, like, the publisher has an agenda that you can recognize as bad, why are you but expecting a video game company to do anything other than get out of the way of that oncoming freight train is absurd. It's not their place to start an international incident. Maybe it should be. And when I sit down and play a game, I just want to play a game, you know? I don't play those games that are thinly veiled military recruitment campaigns either. That's what I'm fucking saying! Oh, girl. You cannot escape it because every single game has some sort of angle. Every single game was made by people, and people all have biases, whether they know that about themselves or not. And, like, nothing is done in a vacuum. I want game storefronts to yank obvious propaganda games. I want racist trolls out of the community. Keep things welcoming for everyone by keeping politics out. I'm going to lose my mind. You have to be intolerant to be able to be tolerant. If you're tolerant of everyone gets in, including the fucking neo-Nazis. You have to be able to take a stand and say, I don't give a shit. Yes, we're gonna be political about it. If you are like this, you are not fucking welcome here. You cannot be welcome to everyone, because if you're welcome to everyone, the shit that you don't want there is going to oversaturate and drive everyone else out.
A bit concerning, that.
And who decides what's political and what isn't? That's the rub. I feel someone needs to stand up, or this is just going to happen again and again. And as a member of a gaming community, I'd like it to be us. It's also important for those of us who have platforms of privilege from which to speak, that we use them boldly against the evils of the world. I also, not so much to side with Loxley, but I would rather that we, as this collective trio of white people, it'd be better in the long run for us to use our positions of privilege to bolster the voices of those who aren't listened to. Instead of making it so that we're the one doing it, we really should be bolstering and supporting those that are not listened to first and foremost. That's what we should be doing. But we've both ranted enough, haven't we? Considering Reaxeons is our acting manager / cat wrangler, I'm curious how Z would interpret the situation. Just in case I feel like, I don't know, making scary political statements after the Patchwork Coalition wins the Pro Tour. Holy fucking shit, people, you're dumping this on me now? No worries, I support my friends. I'll respect your wishes on this matter, regardless of what they are. You have my loyalty, that will always come first. Yeah, let's not back Reaxeons into a corner on this one. I'm cool with whatever you decide to. So, do you think it's reasonable to disallow politics at a gaming event, or is it reprehensible to silence them? Reprehensible to silence them. Yeah. I like how you could just be like, I'm not fucking dealing with this right now. No, it's reprehensible. I'll call this what it is, okay? A game company is terrified of losing money in that area and willing to silence someone to avoid that fate. It's not about neutrality, it's about that bottom line, and a company has no right to punish someone over their speech like that. If they're not willing to stand up for their own players, maybe they don't deserve to have a player community. And if the only vote we get under capitalism is voting with our dollars, well, I hope there's a mass voting and they feel it in the pocketbook. Hear, hear! Thank you for seeing past the company's rhetoric to see what it's truly about. I think you're both putting way too much meaning into this, but whatevs. It's not like I'm waving their flags around and cheering them on. Screw them. Just not saying that at a Pro Tour event. Which is perfectly understandable, Zapper, as long as you respect my right to do so. As long as we don't get our whole team banned from play, you do you. Living with y'all is going to be interesting, at least. Especially with Loxley and I under one roof. I promise not to start any fights, though. Team cohesion above all else. Glad I'm specifically bunking with Rhapsody, though. Likewise, I promise to remain cordial and not allow differing viewpoints to tear the Patchwork Coalition apart. It wouldn't be fair to Reaxeons or anyone else. So 3 cheers for the Patchwork Coalition's HQ. Long may it stand. Hip hip hooray! So funny. Cheers, smiles, and a good cheer all around. But also a bit of a reminder that I'm in charge of keeping some very, very different people all focused on the same goal. More responsibility than I asked for. More than I wanted. But I can do this, for the sake of all my friends. Okay, anybody else I want to talk to before moving in? Domino, what are you up to? I find Domino chilling in his usual spot in front of the battered plastic Japanese arcade cabinet loaded with all his shmup faves. That was a long sentence. Although chillin' is probably not accurate. As usual, he's hyper-focused on a massively complicated bullet spam pattern from hell, desperately hanging on to the edge of survival. And yet, he finds just enough mental timeshare to say hello. Hello. Hey, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Nah, it's fine, I'm good. It's a good day. I'm all packed up and ready to go on permanent vacation with y'all. Where's your luggage? You didn't register with the mover, so I figured you'd be bringing your stuff in by hand or something. I didn't see any boxes or suitcases or travel trunks or anything out there. And Domino glances to a battered duffel bag laying on the ground next to his arcade cab. Domino. Got it all right there. That's it? The total sum of my worldly possessions. Well, the stuff worth keeping anyway. Ah, the joys of riding the poverty line like a skateboard rail. He is much too flippant about this. With his game wrapped up, he turns to chat with me while leaning against the cabinet. He seems genuinely happy, possibly for the first time that I've seen.
This can't possibly end badly.
This is gonna be fun. Assuming we aren't murdering each other by the end of the first week, it'll be nice to not live alone anymore. I'd like to think we can handle this new living arrangement with a minimum of bloodshed. My hope is to provide a friendly, welcoming sort of gamer's paradise for all of us. You know, I've never liked that word. Paradise? Gamers. I mean, what is a gamer, really? It's branding and marketing shorthand, a defined role given to us by the media to act as a convenient carrying handle. When a major corporation making sweet bank off of you is telling you who to be and what opinions to hold and what opinions to fight to the death over, well, that's worrying. And to an extent, the esports scene completely buys into it. You don't want to make sponsors unhappy, and sponsors want you to stick to the script. Crimson Tiger only exists because some soda company decided they needed a gamer drink for the gamer lifestyle and invented a brand to cover the gap. Thus the loop is closed. We become part of our own subservience. The fucking face, dude. Okay, kind of went off on a Loxley-esque rant there, didn't I? No, I get what you mean. It's an easy trap to fall into, filling the shoes someone else gave to you. We're walking a weird line, being professionals who have to keep their sponsor happy. We need to be careful not to become generic esports team number 23. If we keep our individualism and our ideals alive, I think we can work within the system without being complicit in its excesses. That's a pretty tight rope to walk, but I'm glad you're mindful of it. Last thing I want is for the Patchwork Coalition to be all like, "What up, fellow gamers? Buy more Crimson Tiger!" Well, we have to push the product a little, but only in ways we agree with. Hopefully we'll have a choice in the matter. Maybe it's for the best that I'm bunkmates with Loxley for the Patchwork Coalition HQ experiment. We see eye to eye on this stuff. So you've picked out your room assignment already? Yeah, Gian's moving stuff around accordingly. Starting tomorrow, the Patchwork Coalition HQ is in full effect. I'd suggest a huge party to celebrate, but let's not annoy our landlord on day one. Plus, I'm usually the one who sits in the corner talking to the pets during the party, especially when I try to mingle. Because people go, "Oh, look at the time," and wander off. No, Domino! Honestly, I'm less worried about someone else on the team starting trauma than myself accidentally causing some. Of course, we already talked about that, didn't we, after 20XX's main event match of Domino versus Zapper. My hope is that I'll be a little less morose if I'm around cheerful people. I mean, it's half the reason I keep coming back to GCF. Being a shut-in really drives people up a wall, across the ceiling and down the other side. I don't know how people like Loxley managed it before today. Hang on, weren't you a shut-in too? I lived alone, if that's what you mean.
That's curious.
And you didn't have an arcade to fall back on to pump up your social media either. How'd you do it? How'd you avoid losing your marbles from isolation? Maybe I am a little fucking crazy. Hey, for all you know, I could be all smiles and friendship on the outside, but back home I have a collection of human femurs. Maybe this whole the Patchwork Coalition HQ thing is a clever ruse to lead you into my trap. Okay, see, normally I'm the one to make a joke like that, but from you it just feels weird and wrong. Let's leave the unpleasant yet humorous reminders of our current actual reality to the master, shall we? Right, sorry. Whatever. I'm too stoked for our new house to really let anything get me down today. I'm not used to feeling this jovial and confident. It's a pleasant thing to be sure. Be nice if I could keep it rolling more than a day or two. Usually I get slam dunked back into that suck after it passes, but hey, who knows? Maybe with more contact with optimists like you and Grace, I can keep it going. Domino, you need some more Butrin, my boy. You need some antidepressants. And like a walk, my dude. I swear. Okay, I should double check to make sure I didn't actually leave anything behind. My old landlord dumped all my crap on the curb for garbage pickup. I may need to root through it.
Seeing you.
See you upstairs later? You got it. Anyone else I want to hang out with before hang on, the sun's already gone down. Why the heck haven't we moved in yet? I'd say we're burning daylight, but we're fresh out. Beep beep, Reaxeons. You have an incoming message from Jinx. Hi there, Gian's trying to get our arcade game working and running into problems. Any idea how to boot a custom arcade PC? Real mess up here right now. Huh, it's just a PC and a fancy wooden box? I thought arcade games were all specialized hardware. Retro games, yes. Modern ones tend to use off-the-shelf components. Want me to reply to her? Oh wait, I've got another message for you from Grace. I could use a hand moving my game collection. Can you take the subway to the 23rd Street station? Moving these boxes myself is proving difficult. I don't think I can leave either of them hanging. Rhapsody could easily get an FoD2 machine going. They're a computer-y type person like you. And I'm sure Loxley would be more than happy to carry some boxes for Grace. So, who should I send where? I'll go help Grace, and Rhapsody can take care of Jinx. Iris, can you message Rhapsody? Ask them to head upstairs and fix up our FoD2. I'm going uptown to help Grace.
Okay.
You got it, Reaxeons. The apartment will be ready to go by the time you get back. Tucking my phone back in my pocket, I head out the doors of GCF and off into the subway. I love public transport so much. With half the city packing it in for the day and the other half getting ready for the night ahead, it's a fairly crowded train ride up to the 23rd Street. I rarely go uptown. Not much point. That's where all the finance and business hubbub goes down and where the rich establish their legacies. Guess this is where Grace used to live in her family's manor house? A manor house in the middle of a city, being pretty damn weird to boot. But while I'm expecting to get further directions from the tram station to meet her at her home, she's actually at the station waiting for me. Along with 4 giant cardboard boxes packed to the brim with plastic cartridges. Honestly, it's a miracle I managed to carry them all myself. But when I got the turnstile, well, I realized I couldn't do this on my own.
Thanks a bunch.
Thanks for coming by, Reaxeons. Moving this is so much easier with a helper. The old game console carts shifting around in my box as the subway rattles around menacingly are a bit worrying. Hopefully the rough ride isn't damaging them. Hey, happy to help. Stack up all 4 and I can carry them all for you. See these muscles? I never skip arm day. Oh, no. You don't have to go that far. I can share the load a little. I'm not some fragile flower, you know. I appreciate the offer, believe me. But this collection is precious to me. I wouldn't want to risk a stack tripping over and crashing down. I guess you wanted to focus on your games first and foremost, right? Clothes, furniture, and other knickknacks can come later. I already kept some of my clothes at Jinx's place. That's all I really need. I live digitally, not physically. Well, okay, so old video games are a bit more physical and plasticky than pure digital, but you get the idea. This is odd. Everyone else, excluding Domino, had oodles of stuff to move over to the new apartments. Grace comes from money. Surely she has a large hoard of stuff to migrate, right? But no. All she cares about are her games. I guess I still don't have a good handle on who Grace is as a person to be surprised by that, but whatever, I can roll with it. So, how many games are in these boxes anyway? Let's see, about 200 NES cards, 100 Super NES and Sega Genesis cards, about 100 loose discs for the Sega Dreamcast, Nintendo, PlayStation, and the Atari XLX, plus a few mint rares and some prototypes. I've got a box Stadium Events and a Nintendo World Championship Gray card. I've even got a rare ET prototype for the Atari 2600, which was totally awful. Thanks goodness they fixed it before release, right? That sounds valuable. Old and valuable.
Of course.
Yep, I curate my collection very carefully. I didn't have enough space in the storage unit for too many games, so I only picked the ones I really wanted. It took years scouring the collection scene for the games I wanted, but it's more or less complete now. I mean, I've always tweaking and tuning the archive a little. Wait, you keep it all in a storage unit, not your bedroom? And Grace's good cheer wobbles a little.
Well, I mean, I wasn't technically allowed to. My parents saw video games as a waste of time. I wasn't allowed to own a video game console. They barely tolerate my little portable one, because I insisted it's more of a computer than a game system, thanks to my extensive modifications. So, to keep my stuff off-site, away from their disapproving glares. But now, I can keep it at Jinx's place. She doesn't mind at all, and even lets me hook up some of my old consoles there. And even better, I can share these wonderful games with everyone else. I know our focus is on arcade games, FoD2, yeah, but also Zappers, Lycan games, and domino shooters. But I hope I can show you all the love I have for these cute little toys from days gone by. Back when all you needed was a gamepad, a best friend, and a TV to live your best life.
She shifts her grip on the heavy box, arms growing a bit weary despite her high spirits carrying her along. I'll admit that sort of good cheer is infectious. I know about as much about console games as I do arcade games, but I know passion when I hear it. It's difficult being completely in love with a thing, but feeling alone in that love. I mean, look at me, and I'm a PC gamer at heart. I can talk your ear off about every single step to beating King's Quest V, every single moon logic puzzle, becoming the Avatar in Ultima, taking down the Cathari in Wing Commander. But everyone would just sort of look at me funny if I did so. I didn't grow up with those games like I did. Scouring websites for abandonware, the occasional bit of piracy, whatever it took to dig deeper and deeper into my hobby's roots. All for the love of the game. And Grace gives a wry little smile. But I've played all 3 of those games. What? King's Quest V has an NES version. It's not great, but it exists, and there's Ultima and even Wing Commander. Seriously?
Of course.
Seriously, games are universal sometimes. Our shared joy available across so many different platforms. Many arcade games got PC and console ports too. I'm sure we can find common ground with everyone some way, somehow. Don't worry, we're all friends, and we support each other's passions. From the screech of brakes and the way my center of gravity protests, it seems the train's slowing down before the Chinatown stop. And here we are, ready to make the Patchwork Coalition headquarters official? You bet. I know I was a little hesitant at first, but what with my family situation, but I think that we're really going to get along just... And just as the doors start to open, someone slams into Grace, knocking her to the floor. I'm about to fucking square up, string bean looking ass. I'm about to punch the shit out of you. I'm about to fuck you up. No, I'm running after that bitch. I am running after that bitch and getting that shit back. Her box pops open, games scattering everywhere. The man quickly spots a white cardboard box in the pile, grabs it, and runs out the door before I can even react. Instinctively, I move to help Grace pick up herself along with her fallen game collection, but she waves me away as she gets to her feet.
Oh no.
I've got to stop that guy. He's got one of my favorite games. But I'll handle this. Just go, please. It feels weird abandoning a friend, but that insistent look in her eyes gives my feet wings as I sprint from the train and up the stairs. I'm about to tackle this bitch to the ground. Am I doing this? Am I seriously doing this? I'm doing this. I'm seriously doing this. The thief isn't exactly a world-class athlete, so catching his trail is easy enough as he dashes through the streets of Chinatown. But he still has a head start. If he makes a few twists and turns, ducks around a corner, and escapes my sight. My heart's pounding out of my chest as I desperately wish I had done some actual freaking cardio instead of playing FoD2 endlessly for years. I need to get an edge on this chase or he's gonna escape me. Raw speed isn't enough. I'm gonna consult Iris. Hoping Iris is listening in to my personal conversation, looks like she usually does, I call out for her. Iris, use your city map to find a shorter route and catch up to this bastard. Already on it, Reaxeons. Left down the next alley, then right coming out of it. Okay, I can do this. I've played enough games with the stupid QuickTime events to make quick decisions. My feet skid a bit on the pavement as I hang a sharp left, scrambling down a filthy alley. Across the street. The light's red and the crosswalk's clear. Between those 2 buildings. Turn right. I'm seeing spots as I desperately pump my legs, trying to close the last gap between myself and the fleeing game thief. And finally, he makes a mistake. He dashes into a dead-end alley, allowing me to catch up. I'm about to flatten your ass! Nowhere to run now, bitch! He's too out of breath to even form a complete sentence. Now's my chance. I'm just gonna grab it. While not entirely cat-like reflexes, I dive in, grabbing at the cardboard box he's clinging onto for dear life. Let go, you're going to... And the flimsy 1980X cardboard box tears itself apart in our hands, causing the manual and plastic cart to fall to the ground. What have you done? Figuring it's better than nothing, I scoop up the remains before stepping away. On cue, Grace catches up with us, and oddly, she's not the least bit out of breath despite running the same distance we did. Okay, the subway attendant was nice enough to watch my boxes while I caught up to you. Wait, you're...
What?
Norman? You're the one who stole my game? Damn it, you weren't supposed to get a good look at me. You know this piece of shit, Grace? Yeah, he's a regular in the game collector forums I visit. We've traded tips on rare games for auction before. Norman, why would you steal from me? Because you don't deserve that game. You aren't a real collector. You aren't trying to get a full set. I've been trying for years to get a full NES set, and this is the last piece. Do you even know how much this game is worth? Back up. What game are we talking about exactly? Oh, it's stadium events. It's an exercise game. Very rare. There's only about 20 legitimate companies left in the world. Normally, stadium events cost $30,000 in the open market, but you stuck-up little rich girl. Do you have any clue how hard the rest of us have to struggle to afford rare games? People like you just throw down a wad of daddy's money and blow up the last few rares in the world hoarding them. It's not right. It's not fair. And now your idiot friend destroyed the box. It's lost $10,000 of value thanks to that. I see. Norman, if this game really means that much to you, well, I guess you can keep it. What? What? He loves his collection. He loves his games. He's getting a lot of love out of stadium events too. So if he really wants it, I guess he should have it. Don't reward him for bad behavior. Come on, he's a thief. He deserves punishment, not a free game. You can't reward bad behavior, Grace. Don't let people walk all over you. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for justice.
I mean,
It's not really that big of a deal, Reaxeons, really. There's no need to make this more than it is. It's counterfeit anyways. Totally worthless. That's amazing. Yeah, I bought it from a repro crafter for like $5. It's fake. You own a fake stadium events. Why do you own a fake stadium events? It's a totally garbage game aside from its resale value. Hey, I really like that game. It's great for my daily cardio routine. That's why she wasn't out of breath. But if you can find the same joy in this game, well, I'd be happy to. And he practically hurls the game at us in disgust. I don't want your worthless counterfeit. I'm trying to complete my collection and flip it for enough to buy a Ferrari. Ugh, this whole thing has been a waste of my time. In a cloud of absolute fury, he marches past us, exiting the scene. Huh, should we go after him or something? Maybe it's for the best. I'm not really interested in pressing charges. I got my game back, and honestly, I don't need any more stress in my life.
that's unfortunate.
I am a little disappointed to find out he only wanted the game for its resale value, though. I go to those collectors forums because I want to share my love for video games. Knowing some people are only in it for the money, well, it's a pity, you know? So, shall we get my stuff back from the Subway Transit Authority, then head on down to Good Clean Fun? Reactions? Just swallowing down a massive headache. Okay, let's go. Lead the way. Yeah, I'm like out of breath and got a migraine from all that fucking running. This is what's happening. This is it, the culmination of my efforts. No, of our efforts. Everyone had to pitch in. Jinx giving up her personal space, Grace willing to deal with her family situation, everyone agreeing to uproot their steady day-to-day lives in favor of making the Patchwork Coalition headquarters a reality. With the last details handled, we gather outside one of the 2 front doors to our suite of apartments and are ushered in by Gian. Thank you for your patience. I wanted to make sure everything was just right before the big unveiling. Without further ado, welcome to the Patchwork Coalition headquarters. Also known as my apartment, to be specific. One of the 2 connected apartments. We installed a door so you can pass back and forth without needing to go out into the main hallway. Both apartments have a cozy kitchen, spacious bathroom, and 2 bedrooms. According to the room assignments you've requested in this apartment, Jinx and Grace will share a room, while Reaxeons will be by themselves. An even number of bedrooms and an odd number of residents mean Reaxeons gets their own room. What luck. In this apartment, you also find Grace's classic gaming library and Jinx's music library. Please consider playing your albums at a lower volume, dear sister. I promise nothing. Moving on. This is fucking cool. I want to look at it. Why are there already cans in here? I do love this massive... This almost looks like my actual tower, which is really funny to me. My tower has the glass siding, though, so you can actually see the insides of it. But this is really cool in here. And it's got, like, the soundproofing and the different places to be able to stream. I like it. The second apartment is where we've assembled your shiny new FoD2 game. Here you'll also find Rhapsody's streaming rig and a kitchen fully stocked with your favorite snacks. But please eat something other than pizza bagels and nachos. We installed a stove for a reason. Zapper and Rhapsody will be sharing one of the bedrooms. Assuming I'm not out partying all night, of course. I wonder if we'll even use the room. I'll be pulling a lot of all-nighters editing FoD2 strategy videos. And the other bedroom will be occupied by Domino and Loxley. Do we get bunk beds? Bunk beds are awesome. But I'll take the lower bunk. Heights make me nauseated. Alas, they are but singletons. But regardless, I swear that we shall bond as roomies and brothers, my good fellow. I love them. And that's everything. Rent is due on the 1st of the month sharp. Fortunately, your sponsor is footing the bill. Any questions? Just one.
Yeah.
Who's gonna play the very first round of FoD2 in this sweet new pad? Are you calling dibs? Oh, heck no. Just checking if anybody else was calling dibs. And if not, I think I've got a cool idea. Zapper steps back and nudges both Jinx and Grace to step forwards. I say we have a battle for Hygiene Officer of the Patrick Coalition headquarters. That means Jinx and Grace teaming up against Reaxeons. What? Accepted. Great. Losing team has to clean our apartments for a week. There's stakes now? Oh dear. It's cool. We're gonna clean headquarters by wiping the floor with Reaxeons. You and I got this, Grace. Okay then. We've got this. We'll win. I just know it. Okay, then as my partner, I'll pick... Oh no, you don't get to pick. You need to make this fun. You're gonna use online matchmaking and team up with a rando. No! What? What's the matter, Reaxeons? Don't think you can carry some scrub to victory? You think a little disadvantage it scares me? As your resident coach, manager, and cat herder, I'm not backing down from any challenge. I thought that I was about to say resident roach. We gather around the single screen game, plugging in joysticks and keyboards and such. It's more cramped than the spacious 2-screen deluxe version downstairs, but we manage. I let the matchmaker spin its wheels until eventually it settles on... Your partner is named XX Smurfy Smurf 420XX. What the? That's my random partner? Silly name, but so what? No, I know the handle. That's not just some rando. That's Vindictive Smurf account. Smurf account? An alternative fake game handle you play under when you want to fight without anyone knowing who you really are. What the hell is Vindictive doing playing at that old Smurf account? And he's a big-time P2W competitor now. Well, I think it's sweet they're going to be playing with an old friend. Okay, here we go. Loser scrubs toilets for a week. With chores in line and my rival for some reason ending up having my back, I line up my fingers on the keys and get ready to play. I think it would be more funny if I lost this one, if I'm going to be entirely honest. I want to lose it on purpose. Because my character hasn't lost anything yet. Yeah, I want to lose the match on purpose. I gotta have a loss somewhere in there to make it not feel so bad. Oh my gosh, we won. We really won. Good work, Grace. We make a damn good team. Indeed we do. I know I'm not as serious a competitor as you, but I have to admit, I really felt a rush there coming in on top. Plus, it just encourages them to be better, so like, yeah. Yep, you both fought hard, huh? Guess my win streak's broken now, huh? You're better than P2W, LZ, and now me. I'm happy for you, yeah? Happy. It's great to see. I need my character to have, like, like a mental breakdown about losing. I'm still on a roll. Still headed to the top. One loss doesn't change that, especially a low-stakes loss like this. It's fine. I'm just glad I could enjoy a game with my friends. That's what I'm looking forward to most now that we're all together. Being able to share something we love more so than ever before. Okay, I'm excited. I'm into this. Let's keep going, keep going. How about a battle between Apartment 109's roomies? Domino and Loxley against Zapper and Rhapsody. Indeed, Domino, we ride to battle as one. Tally-ho and all that crap. You know, I'm always down. Rhapsody, you ready? You bet. I've got some new techniques I want to try out. With the team swarming around our new game, everyone's eager to have a turn. They'll be playing long into the night, no doubt. I've had my moment in the sun. Besides, there's something odd about that battle which I may want to look into. I can't stop thinking about Vindictive using their old Smurf account during that battle. It doesn't make sense that he would do that. Something fishy is totally going on. Pulling out my phone, I tap past Iris and into my contacts to give Vindictive a ring. Hello? Oh, hello! Long time no see, Reaxeons. Sorry to let us down. I wasn't good enough to lead you to victory this time. That was some great teamwork overall. Who were we playing against? More randos? Actually, they were my teammates. We're having a sort of celebration match from moving into our new team house. Oh, sweet. I'm glad I got to be a part of that in some way. Yeah, about that. What's up? Why are you playing on your old Smurf account? Can a monarch not go among the peasants from time to time? I just want to see what's up in the unprofessional league. No one else would have caught it, but I did, the slight hesitation in your voice. Be honest with me, Vindictive. It's strange for you to be doing this. You're big time with P2W now. Didn't you sign a contract to only playing using your official P2W handle? Don't you have to maintain that celebrity status at all times? So I put your career on the line for one little trip down memory lane. Listen, I'm not trying to sound conceited, but I don't expect you to understand the pressures surrounding me right now. You could tell me I'm your friend, right? She's just always watching me. I never get a break. Sometimes I need a break. She says she wants to support my dreams, but that seems to translate into constant pressure. It's all so hard right now. I wanted to go back to how it used to be, you know, when we used to have fun. There's a small pause on the phone. Oh, fuck, I gotta go. So it's one of two things that could be the she that's pressuring Vin in this case. It's either Vin's Iris or it's Vin's coach. Because I would totally buy either, but Vin specifically mentioned like supporting dreams. But again, that could be either. But it is very interesting. I hope everything's okay. It's worrying that Nee just up and bounced, but I'm putting my faith in them. If Nee needs help, you'll talk to me about it. I think the thoughts fade. I let the thoughts fade as I focus on something equally important, the friends in front of me. I rejoin them in celebration. With that matter settled, I return to the housewarming party already in progress. And the house is warm indeed. Warm feelings and good tidings all around. With my sponsor suggested this idea of building a team house, it felt to me like the next logical step in going from amateur to pro. Get a team together, get sponsored, get a house, fight in tournaments, qualify for the Pro Tour, win the Pro Tour, hoist the trophy, and then immortality. Every single step along the path being a hard granite slab you smash down into the ground to pave the way to victory. But there's more to this new home than just a stepping stone. Just like how that fight was about more than who won or lost. It's about us, making something all of us can share together. Win or lose, champion or failure, we've built something today. I hope it lasts a long, long time. The best days are ahead of us. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh.
Okay, who replaced the desktop wallpaper on my computer with a photo montage of scary clowns? It's not funny.
I think that was Domino.
What happened to my lucky socks? They were right here. I need them. I need my lucky socks.
Someone left the door open, and now Minx is lost in the building. And that someone better find her, or that someone is gonna get an ass whooping.
Domino.
Loxley, I swear to R.N. Jesus, if you don't stop humming that song under your breath, I'm gonna tear out your throat and feed it to you.
The best days are ahead of us. Honest. That's just an adjustment period of getting to know your housemates, honestly. Everyone gets on each other's, like, toes until they figure that out. You've cleared level 3 of Arcade Spirits, the new challengers. Victory! Let's take a look at your scores. Loxley's really taken a shine to you. And then Jinx and Domino are next. Yeah, my gutsy is real up there. You're proving to be a gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul, with just barely contained rage directly behind it. Also, you've scored 23,150 points. Sweet. Good job. Would you like to change your personal metadata at this time? Name, pronoun, and so on. I want to change only my shirt color, because it should be red now, instead of orange. It should be red. Okay. That's it. I just wanted to do that. Unless, I don't think there's any headwear that looks good. That looks so dumb with my hair. I wonder if I can get different hair. Let me get slightly different hair, maybe? Yeah, that's a little bit better. It's not as poofed out, so it's not sticking out of it. Okay, so if I do... I'm gonna do that hair, and I'm gonna go back to hat. Nope, small is too small. Okay. So the hat will be also red, I guess. Because there's not really any other color to kind of do with, huh? Yeah, so it's just gonna be red. This is me selling out to the tigers for this. Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 4? Yes, I do want to save the game. I'll save it right here. Thank you, please. Okay, cool. So yeah, that was a ton of fun. I do exceptionally enjoy this game. Oh, I am sweating to death, though. I will let you all know. I'm dying. I enjoyed this immensely, and I had a lot of fun, but I'm also very glad that this is the end of the stream so that I can go and sit in front of my AC because I'm dying. I am absolutely dying. But this was a lot of fun. I look forward to getting back into the swing of actually streaming again. I know that it's been a little bit since the last time I streamed. It was just, you know, the current political sector and then current events and everything else. It was just kind of like one blow after the other, and I just wasn't in the good headspace for it at all. But I'm hoping that I'm feeling a little bit more even keel and that I can actually handle what's happening and that I can continue doing the fun things that I like to do and entertaining you guys, hopefully. I think that tomorrow I'm either going to continue playing more of Arcade Spirits, or if people really want me to, I might play more of the Minecraft that I was doing previously. I am currently in the workings of putting together the mod pack for the Waynut SMP relaunch. So I'm really, really looking forward to, you know, saving the old map, getting everything situated, and then getting the new Waynut mod pack going. We're right now making the decision on whether or not we're going to go with Forge primarily, or if we're going to go with Fabric. If we go with Forge, it has a lot of the same sort of mods that we used previously, which will kind of slot into how we want to continue going. But if we use Fabric, we might use Origins. And I think that that would be a lot of fun. And I think that it would add a lot to what the server normally is. And the server is going to be 18 and over only from here on forward, just because it's a lot of pressure to try and put on anybody who's a teenager and going to school and dealing with other things. And it's better to be able to prepare and schedule with people who can actually control their own time on the internet. Not that I hate my friends that are younger, it's just the fact that it's easier to go through and work with and have more consistent scheduling with people who have control over their own time and life. So I'm really looking forward to it. At the beginning, it's going to be Silas, Zero, Vindictive, myself, and depending on if Silas talks to a couple of their friends, we might have 2 other people, Hawk and Raven, possibly, if they're into that. They might not be into it. That one's super tentative. I have no idea if they're going to or not. Silas said that they would ask them, and if they say yes, I'm going to welcome them 100%, but we don't know yet. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope to talk to you, all of y'all, later. Have a good night. Stay safe out there.